Hello everyone, my name is Steven and I am a first year dental student. Making the decision of where to go to dental school is a very difficult one, and today I want to help you out a little bit by giving you my story and giving you some of the reasons why I chose my dental school. Yesterday I made a video about why I picked dentistry as my profession, and if you want to see that video you can check that out right here. But I wanted to follow up that video by discussing why I picked the current dental school that I'm at and some of the reasoning behind the entire decision. A lot of you may have multiple schools that you're picking between, and it may be a very difficult decision. So I want to add my thoughts and hopefully I can help you decide. As always guys, if you enjoy this video, please remember to like it and also subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of other dental school content out there and plan to make a lot in the near future, so stick with me. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into my discussion of why I picked UTHSC, the University of Tennessee Health Science Center College of Dentistry, to spend my 4 years of my dental education. So the first and likely most important consideration that you have to make when you're picking your dental school is of course finances. As the years go by, dental school is becoming more and more expensive to the point where some people decide they just can't make the financial commitment that is needed to go into dentistry. So choosing your dental school based on the financial commitment that you have to make is actually a very real thing and nothing at all to be ashamed of. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. I was raised here and then went off to undergraduate at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. And I was very blessed to have a wonderful dental school in my state. That school, of course, is UTHSC in Memphis, and it was a great opportunity for me to get in-state tuition as an incoming dental student. So right off the bat, my decision was made pretty easily for me because of the financial situation. And there were a bunch of other considerations that I made as well, which I'll talk about in a second. But seriously, the financial commitment of dental school is very real, it's very serious, and you need to consider how you're going to pay for it and which school is going to offer you the best opportunity to get out of debt quickly and get to work on making the money that you want to make in your life. So if you have a school in your state, which you likely do, I think most states now are represented, and if they're not, they have a partnership or a deal with a school in a nearby state. But check out those schools and consider going to your in-state dental school because it's just going to be a lot easier financially for you. And to give you an idea what this actually entails, I think for my school, it's an extra roughly $40,000 a year for an out-of-state student. So that is just seriously a big financial commitment, and you need to consider it when you make your decision. So the next thing that you want to consider when picking a dental school is proximity to your home or wherever your loved ones are. And this is similar to the decision that you made when you went to undergrad. You have to decide if you want to go away or if you want to stay somewhere nearby. When you're considering this in undergrad, it's probably more about where your friends and family are. You've spent your entire life with these people, and sometimes it can be difficult to just go away from them completely. But by the time you get to dental school, you're a lot older and the decision is a little bit different. Considering proximity for dental school is actually more so about where you want to end up as a practicing dentist. For me, of course, I intend to come back to Nashville, Tennessee to practice dentistry in a few years. And that's another reason why I wanted to stay relatively close to home. If I were to have gone super far away for dental school, I wouldn't necessarily have a leg down, but going to school in my state, I'm likely to make some connections that will end up helping me in my career in a few years. And also there is a consideration on licensure exams. I think nowadays pretty much the licensure exams cover all of the states. So if you go to school in Tennessee and you want to go back to a different state to practice dentistry, you're probably going to be able to do that pretty easily. But that is something to consider. Make sure that if you go to a school in a different state where you end up practicing, just make sure you can get that licensure eventually in your 4th year. The next thing I want to talk about is the atmosphere of the school, and this is going to come to you when you visit the school for the first time. First off, make sure you visit all of the dental schools that you're considering. At least do your very best. I know nowadays with COVID and everything that's been happening with that, it's probably been a lot more difficult for pre-dental students to actually get to the schools that they want to visit. But do your best to understand what is actually going on at the school that you're considering. This is really important because you're going to spend 4 very difficult years at this place and you want it to be the right atmosphere for you. The first time that I visited UTHSC, I felt like I was at home, and I think there was a good reason for that. The environment there is very welcoming and open. The people in the admissions department are super, super nice. They were very accommodating to me, and when I was a junior in college, I was able to sit down with the, I believe, director of admissions for like 45 minutes, and that just meant a lot to me, and it showed me that they cared about who I was as an incoming, hopeful dental student, and I appreciated that aspect of it. You also want to check out the campus itself and see if you enjoy it, see if you like the facilities and the surrounding area, because you're going to spend 4 years not only living in that area, but working on the people of that area. In your third and fourth year of dental school, you will have your own patients, and they are of course gonna come from the local area around your school. So make sure that this is something that you wanna get into, and just try to make sure that that atmosphere is for you. I wanna just stress again that UTHSC is a fantastic environment, and if you're considering it, don't think twice. It's seriously an amazing school, and I've loved every bit of it so far, other than biochemistry, which was kind of difficult. The next thing that I want to talk about is what exactly about dentistry is important to you. And for me, clinical excellence was something that I was really looking for in the dental school that I would end up attending. And as it turns out, clinical excellence, especially with the current dean at UTHSC, is something that is very, very important at Tennessee, and I've always appreciated that. One of the main goals of UTHSC as a school is clinical excellence and creating dentists who are going to succeed at the next level. I really appreciated this because sometimes schools tend to focus more on the academics than the hands-on dentistry itself, and I wanted to be set up as best I could when I graduated to go out and start practicing dentistry. Dentistry requires a massive learning curve, and no matter where you go, you're gonna have to learn a lot when you get out of school and start practicing. But I wanted this jump to be as easy and seamless as possible for me, and that's one of the main reasons why I decided to pick UTHSC. So when you're going through your application process and talking to the school, make sure you discuss with them what values and things they find important and they focus on, and that will give you an idea what type of dental education you're going to get. I think pretty much every school out there is pretty great these days, so this shouldn't be an issue, but definitely consider that when you're thinking about the dental schools that you are looking at. Just like that, we've reached the last point of this entire video. This one's going by super quickly. I wanted to remind you again that if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like. That helps me out a lot. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I'm hoping to do it as quickly as possible. So I appreciate all of you that are watching and liking right now. The last thing that I want to talk about is personal history. I have a very strong personal history with UTHSC. My father, who is a dentist and has been for 40 years, went there and graduated in 1979. So there was an intense personal history with this university for me, and there might be the same situation for you. Now let me explain, just because your parent or a sibling or somebody close to you went to a school, that does not at all mean that you have to go to the same school. But it is kind of cool, at least to me, if you can go to the same place that someone you love went and experience kind of the same things, the same environment, and end up being a graduate from the same school. So while all of those other things I just discussed were probably higher up on the list for me when I made my decision, I definitely considered the fact that my dad went to the same school, and his composite picture of his class 1979 is still up in the clinic waiting room. Seriously, when I first visited, I walked into the clinic and into the waiting room, and I saw his picture up on the wall, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. You may decide that you don't necessarily want to go to the same school as someone that you love or know, and that's totally okay, but make sure you get their input and ask them what they thought about their school to kind of help you along in this decision that you're trying to make. That's really it. That's all the things that I wanted to talk about in this video, kind of on why I chose my school and some of the things that you need to consider when you're picking your school. I know this process can be stressful, like everything else in the process. Seriously, it's like one of the most stressful things ever, going through the DAT, the admissions process, picking your school, actually starting dental school. It never really gets easier, but it's all part of the process. I guess my final point and the final thing that I want to emphasize is just make sure you go to all these different schools and try to find which one fits you the best, and make sure you visualize yourself in the shoes of the dental students that you see at those various schools. I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you. There are some people who are starting to comment on my videos and starting to watch them religiously. And I just feel very blessed that that's the situation. Like I said a second ago, I really want this YouTube channel to grow, and I'm gonna do everything that I can do to make that happen, but I need your help. Make sure you're subscribing and liking the videos. It really helps me out a lot. And also leave a comment down below on where you go to dental school or where you're considering going to dental school. I'd love to chat with you in the comments, so leave them down there and we'll get the discussion going. You may or may not know this, but I'm currently on my winter break, so I have a little bit of time to upload some videos, and that's kind of what I've been doing for the past couple of days. So make sure that you're staying tuned, you're staying subscribed, and you're ready for everything that's coming out from me. But as always, guys, thank you so very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon in the next video. Peace out.